Okay. Now let's get into the DM question of the week.
Which is kind of fitting.
It is fitting.
How to deal with murder hobos.
Yes.
You ever thought you walk into a town, you're a villager, you look to the west and you see 4 adventurers, you're like, finally, we're saved. But you just see one randomly pull out a sword and stab into a little child. You're like,
oh my! And then you see, and 5 XP float into the player.
And then you just see the fire just just as he rips up the sword, the wizard just causes meteor showers to fall.
Yes, this town is worth 200 XP. Let it burn. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get it right into it. So one of the reasons Murder Hobos even exists is kind of due to the XP system.
That's like XP farming.
Yeah, which I would just entirely discourage if I were you. Like, just if you're gonna do an XP system, don't do XP for like just commoners. Like, why do they have XP?
I mean, they literally have like 10.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, I guess, but like, just don't.
But
actually, that's not the main reason why Murder Hobos exists. So this is kind of how I see Murder Hobos from at least my experience, and that's typically because you have players who don't quite understand what's possible with D&D. They kind of see it as a video game. They see an obstacle as something to fight, and they don't necessarily think about all the possible diplomatic and more talk-like, ways of getting out of problems. So, like, if a criminal is like, give me your money, instead of, like, persuading the criminal to do something, they just pull out their swords. And, man, that's not the best example because criminals, maybe want to kill them.
Maybe it's like a guard, like a shopkeeper that's like, look, man, I won't give you, like, I'm selling this artifact or this magical item for 500,000 pieces, no less. And you're like, I don't have that money. And the shopkeeper's like, well, then get good and get money. So then you shouldn't just go stab and kill. Maybe.
How dare you insult me?
Yeah. Maybe you should like say like, well, I need it for like, if you want. Do you want to die? Like this black dragon's gonna come and kill us all. Like I need that thing, or we're all dead. And maybe I might change it.
Yeah, and so that's one reason. Another reason is you have, and this is kind of I think what you were just talking about, is if you have a player with a character who isn't really like fleshed out.
A one-dimensional character.
Yeah, sure, one-dimensional character. Because if you think about if you make a character and it's like, yes, I am the Goliath barbarian, if that's all you are, then you're a warrior that's going to kill things. But you have to think about, what if my character was a real person? It's like my real character has had,
it's not sadistic.
Yeah, they've had good relationships with people. They aren't just killers. So even if someone like insults them, they're probably not going to go straight to killing. So help your players kind of have a fleshed out character, and also kind of make sure they know what's possible. And so I can talk a little bit about how you can do that.
Well, I have a good point.
Okay.
This is kind of a big one, which you have to implement into your game. So this is one of the examples where the DM, it is your fault. You stupid. I'm just kidding.
What's the example?
Well, the example is that there's no consequence.
Yes, that's the big one.
I slaughter this entire village. And then you go to the next one, and the villager's like, welcome to our village, slaughter. Like they don't like recognize who you are.
Yeah, this is more, yes. You want the world to be immersive. You want it to feel like a real world. And the second you make it not feel like a real world is the second it becomes Skyrim, right? You know what I mean?
I love Skyrim.
Now, Skyrim is kind of extreme. It's like you either kill something and no one cares, or you kill something and every guard in a 6-mile radius is now after you.
I don't understand why Nassim is less worth than a chicken. One time I was saving the town from a dragon, I accidentally hit a chicken, and the entire town looks at me, starts attacking me instead of the freaking dragon above. I'm like, what are you doing? Just one chicken.
Yeah, anyway, so you don't need to be that extreme, but what you want is consequences. So there are some classic ways of making consequences against people who are murder hobos, and that is bounty hunters. That's the big one.
Put other parties against them.
Other parties against them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so you really just want to make this world seem real, and the reason this helps is when you have a world that seems real, is it makes them think about their characters more as real characters. Because real characters, unless they're serial killers, won't do what they're doing.
Or like angels will, yeah.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of ways to make the world seem real.
Angels.
The big one, so let's just keep on what you said, is the consequences. So bounty hunters is a big one. That's kind of like I actually don't like bounty hunters as much as I like.
Just have a freaking gold dragon come. It's like, I just saw you freaking slaughter like those 2 villages. You freaking piece of crap. Like, go die.
No, so those to me can be a little controlling of the DM, in my opinion. Now, you can do it well, of course, but what I prefer actually,
like rumors.
You can have rumors, but what I prefer is actually evil things approaching the characters as if they're friends. You know what I mean? It's like you have this evil creature come up and say, "Yes, I saw what you did."
Like a devil
Very
come up,
good.
When a devil comes like, so, do you want like a business agreement? Like, I have a thing, a proposition. And that's actually when you could say murder hobos, like, don't just kill everything. But like, you could be evil if you want to.
Yeah, and so you're basically proposing and you're saying like, hey, you're acting evil. And this is how the world reacts to evil people. You can have bounty hunters that are good bounty hunters, and they're hunting them because they're trying to hunt evil. But you can also have evil creatures, and that makes the players look at their character in a new light, and they say, "Oh, am I playing an evil character?" And like, if they are fine with that, then they can keep going. But probably they won't be, and they'll probably reconsider how they act once they realize that this character came up and just said, "Oh, hey, I love your work. Do you mind helping me go over and kill this man's daughter? He kind of refused to give me his farm, so I need to repay him by killing his entire family. You mind helping me? You do that sort of thing, right?"
That's so like just like, yeah, can you just help me to slaughter this dude's like entire family?
Yeah.
Well, like, I'll pay you.
And then your player should be like, "Dang, why are they asking me this?
Yeah.
Do I really come off this way?"
Or they just give like a smirk, and you hear like an angel's just like, "Oh God," and then one guy behind him's like, Gerald, some men just want to watch the world burn. We must stop them.
I don't know. I'm not picturing what you just said, but
2 angels talking to each other, just saying, one angel's like, "What? Why are they doing this? Like, why? How could any person be like this?" And one angel just pats him on the back. It's like, "I'm sorry, some men, they just want to watch the world burn."
Yes.
Yes.
Another one that's good that isn't just, here's someone that is good and is now fighting you, is you can make commoners kind of, they've heard the rumors, and they don't want to deal with the PCs anymore.
So shopkeepers say, "Frick you."
Yeah, I'm not dealing with you.
The king is like, arrest them.
Yeah, obviously you would want the city, like if they murder someone in a city or a town, have the guards be like, excuse me.
Stop right there.
And guards are very weak, but that doesn't mean they have to be weak, right? Like you can, if they kill the guards too. So let's say your PC's like murder someone on the street. The guards show up and are like, "Hey, that's illegal. Come with me." And they kill the guards as well. Just you need to give them the town or the city will be able to produce stronger things. Get some assassins in there, higher level things where like these are now fugitives,
and
like
they're gonna knights on griffins or something.
Yeah, knights on griffin, all sorts of stuff. And don't be scared to really teach them a lesson. Okay, so that's kind of having consequences. There's some good ones there. But my favorite, and the way I think I use the most to kind of just preemptively make sure murder hobos probably won't happen, is to really just
just give them money. They're hobos.
No. Is to show the players the good side of your world. Because I think as DMs, we can sometimes fall into this cycle of everyone the players encounter as an adversary. And if you do that, then it kind of just it gets natural for the players to view everyone in this world as bad. And so killing someone, it doesn't come with that moral weight that you probably want it to. And so what you can do is just have moments where they're encountering genuinely good people. And not only good people, but people who may come off as kind of bad, but aren't. So they may be like overcharging like a ton on a shop, and this may seem like, oh, they're trying to swindle me, but maybe they have like a sick mom at home, and they like need and showing these human moments in your world will make the players see your world as full of not adversaries, but full of people. And I think this is the biggest tool I use to make my players not pull out their swords every chance they get, because they just had an encounter with a genuinely nice person. And so since they did that, they're coming into this encounter unsure of whether this person is good or bad, because they know good is possible. So they don't want to accidentally just kill a good person, and so they don't. And so there's a lot more opportunities for conversation. And so in general, the key here is to, instead of making everyone an adversary, which is easy to do because you need obstacles for your players, instead of doing that, make sure you include the good parts of your world, the positive, like genuinely feel good moments. And that will make your world seem real. And when your world is real, the players will make their characters real, and typically real characters don't murder hobos.
And when all of that fails, kill them all. You gotta treat fire with fire, baby.
Sure. Yes.
Just send a gold dragon their way.
Yeah, just like an evil god rises and says, everyone who has acted evil will now become on the outside what they are on the inside. And then they all like deform and like turn into these monsters. And it's like, all right, your characters are just abominations now. Hand me your character sheets. You have no control.
You're done.
You're a zombie.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure. All right, that's the DM question of the week.
Pretty good. Fits in with the black dragon.
Yes.
Good shit.
Okay.